I welcome you all to this today technical webinar topic of, let me share my screen. Yes. I hope my screen is visible to everyone, right? Can anyone please confirm?
Yes, Kishan.
Yeah.
Yes, Kishan.
Yes. So today we are going to see or discuss about the topics related to various monitoring techniques as well as the basics of the planning. Okay. So what is meant by the planning? Okay. Who will be doing the planning activities, whether it is a project manager or it's a sole responsibility of a site engineer or it is a planning engineer or the project coordinator. Okay. And followed by we are going to see about the monitoring techniques also. Okay. Yes. So this is the table of the contents in which we are going to discuss in detail about each and every topic. First one starts with the construction project, and we are going to discuss about what are the various rules of the planning engineer, and we are going to see about what is project planning as well as monitoring, and we are going to see why the project monitoring is getting more importance in the project management. Okay, and last we are going to see about how to update the project progress, as well as we are going to see some of the project monitoring techniques. Okay, so why we need to get to know about what is going to be the construction project is, we have stated that we are going to perform the project monitoring, right? So if you want to monitor one certain task, there should be some framework. Okay, that framework is nothing but the construction project. If you take the definition for the construction project, so projects which are involved into the construction of any building or infrastructure are called as a construction project. Okay, and it can be categorized into many domains. It could be a building, it could be of airport, or it could be of any infrastructure project. Say it could be a metro or road. Okay, and you can take the domain examples from this heavy civil projects like dam, nuclear power plant building, thermal power plant buildings, like that. And if you take other domains, there comes a projects related to the renewable energy projects. Okay, solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy. So like that project that comes under the other domain. Okay, so whatever any structure that we are going to construct, so it's generally called as a construction project. And right hand side corner, you can see one of the examples for the construction project. It's a skyscraper building that I have added for your visual example also. Okay. Okay. So now we are going to see about the project team. Okay, because if you are going to do any particular project, there could be a set of resources, right? Who is going to guide or who is going to take the project in the further steps. So the total head of the project will be of the project manager. So under that, he will be having many divisions like engineering, project management office, construction manager, contracts, as well as the admin. Okay, here you can see under the project management office, we will be having the qualified or eligible personnel like planning engineer as well as the cost controller. Under the construction manager, we could have the teammates like site engineer and the building engineer. Under the contracts, we'll be having working personnel like related to the procurement as well as the quantity surveying. Here you could have noticed that out of all the roles that I have mentioned here, starts from site engineer, building, cost control, or a project manager, construction manager. Planning engineer has been highlighted in a red color, right? Why means the sole responsibility of the planning as well as the monitoring, okay, goes to the planning engineer. Okay, so that's why the planning engineer has been highlighted in a different color. So if come across what could be the various roles of the planning engineer, first he should prepare the entire construction work schedule. Okay, by getting to know well about the entire scope of the project, what are deliverables should be, and what are the various risks he has to consider. So by considering many parameters, he has to prepare the entire work schedule. Okay, and also he need to study and prepare the inputs for the project phasing plan, logistic plan, manpower histogram, as well as the milestone schedule. Okay, logistics refers to the procurement plan. Okay, so he need to assure that each and every material has to be reached at site at the right time. Okay, and he need to calculate the manpower histogram also per day or per week or per month. What should be the required number of the resources, whether it could be a manpower as well as the material as well as the equipment or any other machinery. And he has to perform the milestone schedule also. Milestone is nothing but it's like a benchmark in each and every project. Okay, say for example, if we have to do some 1000 m³ of the concrete, okay, in a particular project, we will set this finishing of that concreting for the particular foundation or wall something, we will mark it as a milestone, like one benchmark. So if we achieve that, we can consume or we can assume that yes, we have achieved some of the major thing in our project. Okay. And also he need to prepare, monitor, as well as update the project progress in a detailed project schedule. Okay. And he had to coordinate and track the stage wise drawing list. Okay. Say for example, if we are executing one particular work of the foundation by keeping the revision 0 of the drawing. Okay. From the engineering department, we could have or we can expect that there may be some modification from the client end, or there can be some modification with respect to the site constraint. Okay. So in that case, what happens? The engineering team will revise the drawing and they will be updating with a newer version. Okay. Say for example, we have got the revision 1. So at that times, what happens? We need to execute the particular activity by following the revision 1 drawing, not the revision 0. So like that, he has to track and monitor all the details of the drawing with respect to the each and every activity. Okay. And also he need to prepare, analyze and track the work done versus billing enabled on the weekly and monthly basis against a financial year target. Okay. Because once we prepare the construction work schedule for the entire project, we will be, we means on the terms of the planning engineer. Okay. He will be preparing the work plans with respect to weekly or monthly basis. Okay. With respect to the work in which we have to achieve, we will be formulating some budget. Okay. We'll fixing some target amount of the cost in which we need to achieve for the billing purpose. Okay. So as a planning engineer, he will be assuring that whether we are achieving or not, whether we are lagging or why this lag happens. Okay. So monitor those activities. He has to track the work done with respect to the what the schedule or plan he has prepared. And also he need to monitor and report on the weekly or monthly work plans as well as the progress. Okay. Not only in the terms of the cost, but also in the terms of the quantity also. Okay. And he need to ensure that progress are updated or till date. Okay. It's not like we have updated the progress by the end of last month. Okay. We need to keep on updating the progress on a daily basis or weekly basis. Okay. As a planning engineer with respect to the client requirements. And he need to prepare the critical issues dashboard for the project. Any risk associated with any particular activity or what are the mitigation steps that we can take. So those are all the things that should be covered by the planning engineer. And he need to track and report the project handover status, because the planning starts from the initiation stage itself in the project life cycle. Okay. In the project life cycle, we do have 5 different phases: initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling, and at last is the closure phase. Okay. So what happens once the project is about to be get completed, or else we have come to end by giving all the deliverables to the end user. It could be a customer or the clients. Okay. We need to prepare one closure report. Okay. Which includes all of the documents that are related to the particular project. It could be of safety statistics, quality statistics. It could be our baseline schedule, and it could be of our progress reports that we have prepared on daily, weekly or monthly basis. Okay. So that's all includes comes under the project handover status. Okay. So which document is under the which stage, whether it is entirely compiled or not. So he need to track and he need to report on the project handover status also. And he need to identify and recommend the process and procedures and improvement ideas to streamline the efficiencies, cost, and the productivity. Okay. How profit can be earned, okay, without affecting the safety and quality. So in order to increase the profit, how we can reduce the cost at unnecessary areas, by which technique we can use or with methodology can be used, okay, to reduce the cost. So those ideas and the things in which a planning engineer can also suggest. And he also compile the project learnings. Okay. Take for example, any particular risk or issue happened at the site. Okay. By using some methodology techniques, that issue could have been mitigated. That thing also has to be recorded, because that thing can be used in our upcoming or the future projects also. Okay. That's why the planning engineer gets an important role in the project management. Okay. And what's more important in the planning as well as the monitoring. So now we are going to see about what is meant by the project planning. Okay. So once the project is procured in the initiation phase, the next step will be the planning. Okay. As I have stated you earlier that total of 5 different phases in a project life cycle, project planning is a second phase. Okay. Followed by the initiation. Clear? So under the planning, what we will be doing is we will be entirely understanding about the entire scope of the project that will be broken down into various deliverables. Okay, we'll be listing out all the activities associated with each and every deliverables. We will be organizing each and every activity. Okay, and we will be coming to know about how to execute or what type of methodology that we are going to use to perform and complete the particular activity by considering many parameters like what are the various stakeholders involved in the project, what are the various risks or what are the various issues associated in it, and what are the various types of resources are required. So by considering all of those, we will be performing the planning. So this planning phase involves creating a project plan that includes a task, schedule, resource, and the constraints on the project. Okay, we have to create the quality plan by setting the quality targets, and we have to measure them also, because we have project closure is nothing but simply we are handing over the deliverables to the end user. It's not like that. Okay, it's we can't say that project is successful only it is completed within the time. Okay, we have to take into consideration that we have completed the entire project with its utmost quality standards. So in order to ensure that whatever the product in which we are going to deliver to the end user, it is going to be fit for the usage purpose. The project is going to be valid. So in order to assure that, we need to set the quality targets, as well as we have to periodically keep on monitoring that one also. And we need to create a budget for the project. And planning phase involves the risk to be anticipated and identified, as well as the mitigation plan. Okay, what could be the various hazards or issues or the risk associated in the project, how we are going to deal with that. Okay, so like that, we have to prepare the risk management plan also. And also project planning phase involves creating a communication plan by listing the stakeholders. Okay, because the stakeholders could be of client or our subcontractors, or it could be a public. Okay, so everyone who are getting influenced in the project or influencing the project or influenced by the project are generally called as stakeholders. Okay, so directly or indirectly, they will be creating some impact on the project. Okay, so regarding each and every issue or the risk, what are the steps that we have taken to identify it, and how we are going to deal with that. So each and every mitigation process have to be communicated to all the stakeholders up to their knowledge. Okay, and we need to create a procurement plan also. Okay, that's what we have seen in the logistic plan, in which we need, as a planning engineer, we need to assure that the materials that receive or reach the site at the right time. Okay, so this is all about the project planning. Here you can see one sample image for that. So under one particular bridge project, you can see the various deliverables. Like first, we need to identify the problem. We need to determine the constraints. Okay, and we need to analyze the design. So followed by that, we will be having a number of deliverables. Like first, after the analysis of the design, there comes the procurement phase, then construction, then testing and commissioning, and at last there will be a handing over stage. So under each and every deliverables, we will be having many different types of activities with the respective duration, and we can see that what is the planned start and finish date for the each and every activity. Okay, and here you can see what is the actual date in which we have started and we are about to finish. Okay, and the right hand side you can see some rectangular blocks. Okay, which are represented in the red and green color, which are nothing but the generally it's called as a Gantt chart. Okay, so it indicates the activity duration and its various types of the relationships. Okay, so red color here indicated is all the activities related to the critical activities, because we cannot or we should not make any delay in any one of the activities. Okay, so ultimately what happens if we make delay in any one of those activities, our entire completion time or entire project duration time will be getting affected. Okay, so this is one of the simple example for the project planning, which includes overall title of the project with its respective major deliverables, And under the each and every deliverables, we will be having different types of activities with its relationship at start and end time, end date, and there will be a relationship also. Okay. So whether any of the activities are going to be performed in a parallel way, or we are going to follow in the sequence that once after finishing one particular activity, we are going to start the activity number 2. So like that. Okay. And also what are the various resources associated in the each and every activity. So now we are going to see what is meant by the project monitoring. Okay. So in the project lifecycle, project monitoring and control phase happens in tandem with the execution phase. Okay. So far we have created our plan. We have done with our baseline schedule. We have fixed one target that this particular project has to be completed within this particular days. Take for example, 300 days. Okay. And start date is January 2nd of this year, and we should to be finished within the 300 days of when it has to be started. So once it is fixed means we will be start executing the plan as per our baseline schedule, as well as what the drawings that we have provided with the required number of the resources. Okay. So what the project monitoring here we will be doing is we need to keep on monitoring whether it is going as per the schedule or not, whether we are lagging or whether we are ahead of the schedule. Okay. So that we need to keep on monitoring. And the project management monitoring and controlling involves actively reviewing the status of our project as it proceeds, evaluating the potential obstacles, and implementing the necessary changes. Okay, those are all things that we have covered in the risk management plan. So we need to identify what are the various types of the issue, risk, or hazard associated for each and every activity. Okay, so how we can handle those things. Okay. And if any changes are required, what are the changes in which we are going to do? So like that, all other information have to be captured in the project monitoring. And also it involves measuring the project related details like budget, schedule, its scope, okay, against the goal to ensure that we are on the right track. Okay. Monitoring, it's not only about the quantity. As I have stated in the earlier example that if we want to pour 1000 m³ of the concrete, it's not about only that we have completed 1000 m³ of the concrete. Okay. Because the 1000 m³ of the concrete will be associated with the cost also. Per m³, we will be having some random prices. Take for example of 1000 rupees per m³. Okay. If you are about to achieve the 1000 m³ of the concrete, we will be multiplying the 1000 rupees into the total quantity, right? And we can share the progress, like not only the quantity, but also we have achieved as per the target cost. So it will be involving the budget as well as the schedule. Okay. So concreting the foundation or concreting the wall, that actually comes under our scope, right? Because if we are about to construct one building, we'll be doing the concreting works with respect to any particular elements, right? Foundation, beam, wall, column, or slab, or parapet wall. So like that, we'll be concreting various building elements in the project. So it captures the scope also. Okay. And there we will be get one question, why the project monitoring becomes more important? Because poor project monitoring is also one of the reasons for the failure of the project. Okay. We will be having many other reasons for the failure of the project. Take for example, we don't have not having any clear idea about our scope and objective of our project, not keeping the adequate resources, and not keeping the generic resources. Okay. Take for example, one welding activity has to be done by the welder only. Okay. So not only the welder, he should be a qualified one, right? So if you won't get any qualified welder, so we cannot perform this activity with any other manpower resources like mason or carpenter or the steel fixer. Okay. So those specific skills are required to perform one particular activity. Those resources are called as a generic resources and adequate in the terms of numbers. Okay. So if you are not clear about our scope or objective, and if you don't have the resources in adequate as well as generic manner, we will be losing our project. Similarly, if you won't monitor our project in a proper way, okay, if we are going to fail in our project. Not only like that, we are not going to deliver the project at the right time, but also we are not able to meet the quality standards. So ultimately what happens, our project will become invalid and become unfit for the usage purpose. Okay. So if you done the monitoring in a better way, Okay, if we do in a good or better way. So those are some of the benefits in which we can acquire. So we can have the better visibility into how the project is progressing with respect to the cost and schedule. Okay, and we can have the better resource management, and therefore we can optimize the cost also. Because if we are having clear idea about our scope, okay, if we are having clear idea about our deliverables, we can come to know about what are the various activities associated with each and every deliverables. Okay, what is that schedule, what is the entire duration of this particular activity. So under that activity, what are the works in which we are going to do, and for assigning resources for each and every activity, what is the total cost or budget of that. Okay, and how much resources is required. We can calculate all other things on the basis of the productivity as well as our total quantity, right? By considering both, we can come to know about the what are the resources actually required to perform the activity, as well as what is the number of resources. So what here happens, we are getting clear idea about the entire deliverables, so that we can keep good control of the schedule, cost, as well as the resources also. Okay, because we can let any resources idle in the project, and we can reduce the risk such as delivery delay something. Because what happens in most of the sites, if delay happens, means the contractor will be getting penalty for not completing at the right time, right? So we can reduce the risk by doing the proper project monitoring. Okay, yes. Now we are going to see how we are going to update the project. Okay, so first what happens, the planning engineer will be preparing the entire construction work schedule, right? So with respect to the schedule, planning engineer will prepare the weekly or monthly work plans. Okay, in most of the cases, we will be preparing the 2-week look ahead schedule. Next to 2 weeks, what are the activities in which we have set as a target to be completed, or for the entire month, say for example, for the next month of February, what is the total number of, or what is the activity, or what is the entire deliverables in which we need to complete it. Okay, with respect to the deliverable, we are going to frame the cost also. Okay, and the planning engineer will be monitoring and updating the progress by taking the actual progress with respect to the work plans prepared. Okay, what here happens, he'll be taking the reports from the site engineer or execution engineer from the site on daily basis, and he will be recording those data, and he will be comparing with the what is the work plan in which he has prepared. Okay, that project progress will be recorded in the format of daily progress report or weekly progress report, as well as the monthly progress report. Okay, so what here happens, so we come to know that this is the work plan for this entire week. So for entire week, each and every day, the planning engineer will be collecting what is the actual progress or what is the actual work done at the site. Okay, he will be collecting those information from the site engineer or the execution engineer, and he will be keep on recording all those informations, and he will be making some comparison with the actual as well as the plan. Okay, so the end of the week, he will be come to know out of 100% how much we have achieved. Okay, say for example, if I achieved only 90% means why the 10% lag has happened, where we have missed that part. So how we can prevent such things in the future or upcoming weeks. Okay, or is there any issue regarding executing this particular activity? So like that, we can do some review under the actual versus planned target. Okay, so here I have given you some sample format in which we will be keep on recording for each and every activity. Okay, here I have given that there will be of the 3 footings. Okay, so for the target set for for the footing 1 in the month of January 2023, we have various type of activities like excavation and backfilling, PCC, steel work, shuttering, as well as concrete. Okay, and we have set targets like backfilling excavation of total quantity of 100 cubic meter. Okay, and PCC have to be done by 30 cubic meter. It's some random figures. Okay, just for explaining the format, I am given you some sample. Okay, and we have to be complete 5 metric ton of the steel and 20 meter square of the shuttering, and we have to complete the 50 cubic meter. So this is the entire target for this month of January. But what we have achieved is, we have achieved for the same for the excavation and backfilling, PCC, reinforcement, and shuttering. But what happens, we couldn't able to achieve the concreting works. So like that, we will be recording this, what is the actual achieved at the site on the daily basis, we'll make it as a cumulative for the weekly. So by adding the cumulative of weekly, we can come to know about the monthly progress, right? So at the end, we can come to know about why that certain activity has not happened. So what is the issue associated with that and why we missed that part? So like that, we will be keep on or we can keep on monitoring those issue or the risk associated to the particular activity. Okay. Followed by that, we will be having targets for next month, right? February, March. So take for example, on the February month, entire excavation and backfilling for the footing 2 will be of 150 cubic meter. So per week, you can make it as 150 divided by 4, right? Around something at fortnight, we have to complete of 75 cubic meter of the backfilling and excavation, right? So like that, we will be making the segregation on the weekly and the daily basis. And those things will be recorded with respect to what we have achieved at the site. Okay. Yes. So now we are going to see about the various project monitoring techniques. Okay. So here we have seen those are all the simple format in which we will be recording various values with respect to the planned versus achieved, right? So these are all only the figure type. So we are going to see only the tabular column with some figures or the digits. Okay. These one can be represented in a graphical or visual format also. Okay. So those are can be done by one of the techniques of the Gantt chart, S-curve, or the end value management. Okay. So here you can see first thing is the Gantt chart. So Gantt chart is another way to represent the data visually. Okay. The project is broken down into individual tasks which are listed in rows on the chart. So each task has a timeline extending out to the deadline of the task, show as a shaded block. So with the Gantt charts, the project head, the planning engineer can assign the task to the individual and allow the notification to be sent to them and keep them on the track. And it is the way through which the work can be arranged into a similar pieces. And we can use it to break down more than just the task, but also the budget. So from the image that are provided in the right hand corner, you can see we have one project named as a construction of a house. So under that, you can able to find the various deliverables like internal, electrical, plumbing, foundation, steel erection. Okay. So under each and every deliverables, you can able to find the different types of activities with its duration and start and end date. Okay. And with next to the end column, you can find that we are having the rectangular blocks, right? As what we have seen in the example for the project planning. Okay. So these are all the Gantt charts in which the entire blocks where actually this Gantt chart starts and ends actually indicates the overall duration of the project. Okay. So take for example, activity or task name 1.1.1 rough in electrical. Okay. Totally it has to be completed within 4 days. Okay. Its start date is 13/2/2014 and end date has to be 18/2/2014. Okay. So this entire duration is represented in a red color. Okay. And inside you can see one small graph. Okay. Inside this particular Gantt chart, you can see some rectangular bar chart, which is represented in a blue color. Okay. It has not reached till the end of the Gantt chart, which is nothing but usually represents that this activity hasn't got completed as per the plan, or else we can say this activity is in the progress. Okay. So by recording that, how much quantity in which we have achieved, okay, how much we have done, we can formulate and we can visually represent it in the form of the bar chart also. Okay. So like that, you can take any other activities like install and termite. Okay. So out of 3 days, here you can see inside their color called as mentioned in the blue color, it's haven't reached till the end of the Gantt chart, which represent this activity is not also completed till the end. Still it is in the progress. So like that, whatever the data in which we are entering in the particular format by giving some values, we can represent it in the form of the visual type also. Okay. Which is nothing but called as a Gantt chart. And another thing is the S-curve. So S-curve in the project management term is a graph to effectively track the progress of the project. Okay. This data can be the cost or manpowers plotted against the time. Clear? So the S curves are useful for many different purposes like performance and progress evaluation, okay, cash flow forecast, as well as the quantity output comparison. Okay, say in this Gantt chart, you could have observed that, okay, so out of this entire duration of the task, 4 days, it has completed nearly 70 to 75%, right? Here you can see only the overall with respect to total quantity, how much we have achieved, right? In the S curve, the same thing can be happen, like for each and every month, we will be setting some targets, right? Weekly or monthly. So those things will be added in the cumulative here in the x-axis, okay? With I mean the time. So we will be plotting as a graph. So green color represented here is a planned or the base curve line. Okay, it could be of manpower or it could be of the billing value also. Take for example, in the January month, we have to do the billing of or we have to work to submit the bill value equal to 1 crore. Okay, in the February month, we have to perform the work in which we can submit the bill of another 1 crore. So January month cumulative value is 1 crore, and February month the cumulative value will be 2 crores because we are going to add in the January and February month cost. So in the March it is 0.5 crore, means cumulative value of the March month will be 2.5 crores, right? Because January 1, February 1 and March 0.5. So overall 2.5. So like that, the cumulative value will be plotted and it will be formed as in the terms of or in the shape of the S curve. With respect to that, we will be recording what we have actually achieved. Say for example, the January month, we have achieved only 0.5 crore. In February month, we have achieved only 0.5 crore. So if you take in the terms of the cumulative manner, cumulative value for the January month is 0.5 and cumulative value for the February is only 1 crore, right? Similarly, if you go for the March month, we have achieved only 1 crore, means overall we have achieved the cumulative value till the March month is 2 crore only. So like that, so what is the actual value we have achieved? We will be taken in the terms of the cumulative manner and we will be recording here. Here you can see the blue color in which mentioned here is the actual progress. Okay, so green is the planned one and blue is the actual one. So this is also one of the techniques in which we can see why this variance is happening. Okay, so like in the Gantt chart, here you can see some delay in completion of this particular activity. Okay, so by seeing this, we can say, okay, still 25% is remaining. So why that thing is happening? Why the lag is happening? Okay, similarly, we can see here that with respect to this particular point, okay, it has to be achieved till this point, but we have achieved only till this point of where the blue color ends. So we have some gap. So why this gap happened? Okay, where we are lagging, whether we are any shortage of any resources with respect to manpower, equipment or materials, or is there is any minimum value in our productivity. So like that we can analyze and we can make the project to keep on the track. Okay, and now we are going to see about the earned value management. Okay, this is somewhat different from the Gantt chart as well as the S curve, because it will be measured against the baseline. It involves the calculating 3 key values for the each activity. First one is the planned value, next one is the actual cost, and third one is the earned value. So planned value are also called as a budgeted cost of the work schedule, that portion of an approved cost estimated planned to be spent on the given activity during a period. Take for example, the entire planned value of a particular project is 500 crores. Okay, to complete all the activities involved in the project, we have to spend 500 crores. Okay, that's a planned value. And actual cost is nothing but actual cost of the work performed. It's a total of the cost incurred in accomplishing the work. Example, it includes all the labor, material, equipment, and indirect cost. Okay. Take for example, as I have told, the entire budget of our project is 500 crores. Okay, that has to be completed within 2 hours. 2 years, sorry. And if you can tell after 1 year, how much amount we should have spent? Only 250 crores, right? Which is nothing but called as an earned value. Okay, budgeted cost of work performed is the value of the work, nothing but which is actually completed. So by the end of the first year, we should have spent only 250 crores. Okay, overall value is 500 crores, but we at the end of the first year, we should have spent only 250 crores. Okay, so this overall budget is called as a planned value. Okay, and that particular budget value of the project a certain time period is called as a earned value. Okay, so for the out of 2 years, after the first year or the end of the first year, we should have spent only 250 crores. So actual cost is nothing but, so if we have started this particular project, okay, and now we are going to measure how much we have spent at the end of the first year. Okay, this is how much we have spent, actual what we have done at the site, okay, which is nothing but called as a actual cost. Okay, so those from those three parameters, we are going to perform the end value management, okay, by making some formulas like cost variance, schedule variance, cost performance index, as well as the schedule performance index. So cost performance index is nothing but the difference between the end value and the actual cost. Okay, and schedule variance is the difference between the end value as well as the planned value. Okay, and these two values can be converted to efficiency indicators to reflect the cost and schedule, which is nothing but cost performance index is the ratio of the earned value by actual cost, and schedule performance index is the ratio of the earned value by planned value. Okay, so here you can take from our example, out of the total budgeted cost of the 500 crores, okay, at the end of the first year, the end value will be 500 crores. Okay, and actual cost is what is the total amount that we have spent till the end of the first year. It could be of more than the end value and less than the end value. Okay, but actually what and how much amount it should be is, it should be lesser than the end value. Okay, because we have derived and we have set one target that at the end of the first year, we should be spending only 250 crores, right? If it goes beyond that, means we are spending more amount than actual what we have planned. Okay, and schedule variance is nothing but earned value minus planned value. Okay, planned value is nothing but out of 2 years entire duration. Earned value is nothing but at which stage we are in. Okay, if it is 1 year, means 1 minus 2. So we will be getting the value of the 1. Still we are 1 year behind the project. So like that. Okay, so similar case will be applicable for the end value by actual cost for the cost performance index, and for the schedule performance index, it will be of earned value by the planned value. Okay, here in this case of CPI, the actual cost should be lesser than the end value. Okay, and for the schedule performance index, the maximum value of EV will be equal to the PV only. Okay, and if it is more, means actually we are running ahead of the schedule. Okay, here you can see the measurement criteria for both the cost and schedule variance as well as the performance indices of the cost and schedule. So negative numbers for the cost variance indicates that project is running over the budget, and positive value indicates the cost variance is vice versa, which is nothing but we are making, or we are taking the project under the budgeted value only. Okay, from our example, we can conclude that out of the planned value 250 crores at the end of, 500 crores at the end of the first year, it should be or we have to spend only the 250 crores. Okay, so the actual cost has to be spent on the site to execute the activities as per the plan should be minimum of lesser than the 250 crores only. Okay, maximum 250, or it should be less than the 250. Okay, and the negative schedule variance calculated at a given point of time means that project is behind the schedule. Okay, and the positive means we are ahead of the schedule, right? And here you can see the measurement criteria for the CPI and the SPI also. So cost performance index value indicates less than 1 means the project is running over the budget. Because what happens from our formula, we can see cost performance index is the earned value by the actual cost. Okay, and here if you take earned value is only 0.5, okay, and the actual cost is 1, means what happens? Actual cost value is greater than the earned value cost. So ultimate our ratio, what happens? It will be lesser than the 1, right? 0.5 divided by 1, it will be 0.5. So what it indicates? It is running over the budget. And if the CPI value is greater than 1, it indicates that the project is under the budget. Okay, why? Because our actual cost value is lesser than the earned value. Okay, so we can come into conclusion that we are making the project to run behind the or run below the budget only. Okay, and now we are going to see about the measurement criteria for schedule performance index. So schedule performance index, which are values lesser than 1, indicates the project is behind the schedule. Okay, if it is greater than 1 means the project is ahead of the schedule, because here you can see schedule performance index formula is end value by planned value. So overall our planned value will be of 2 years. So if you going to measure at the end of first year means end value will be of value 1, right? 1 divided by 2 will be 0.5, right? So which will be lesser than the 1, which indicates that we are behind the schedule. Okay, and maximum this end value will be equal to the planned value only. Okay, if there's can't be any chances of getting more than the planned value. So when it happens means when our project, okay, it's not running as per our schedule. Take for example, we have to finish the particular project in the planned value of the 2 years. Okay, but we have completed by 2.5 years means what happens? We are actually taking 6 more months to finish the project. So 2.5 divided by 2 gives the ratio of value greater than the 1, which indicates is ahead of the schedule. We can't be able to complete the project within the target in which we have set. Okay, so this is how also we are monitoring the progress in the name of the earn value management, because this earn value management take all the consideration like scope. Okay, with respect to the scope only, we are going to measure the cost as well as the time. Okay, the cost thing will be measured under the cost variance as well as the cost performance index, and time will be calculated under the topics of the schedule variance as well as the schedule performance indexes. Okay, so these are all some of the monitoring techniques involved in the project management. Okay, Gantt chart, S-curve as well as the earn value management. Okay. Yes. Thank you. So this is all about the topics with respect to the basic definition, what is meant by the planning, as well as what are the various roles of the planning engineer and why the planning engineer is most important in the project management role. And this is all about the what do you mean by the project monitoring and why it's getting more importance in the project management, as well as what are the various techniques that are involved in the project management also.